Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Podcats. I'm Nicole.
And I am Sarah.
And we are gathered here today to discuss the latest masterpiece from DC Films, the Justice League. Welcome to the jungle. Would you like to start?
I don't even know where to start.
Oh, I think you do. Okay. We'll start from the beginning. They open wonderfully on like an iPhone shot of Superman in the brightest blue costume I've ever seen, overcompensating for the misery that was the last two movies with his costume. First of all, don't start your movie with like the vertical shot. It looked terrible. It wasn't a found footage movie. Basically, they're just like, we need to show superhero being nice, so there's a reason everyone misses him, so we can do 30 seconds of kids being adorable. And that's what they did. And there were obvious problems with his face. Would you like to discuss?
I think most people are aware of the mustache situation.
Mustache
the very
apocalypse.
Distracting mustache situation.
It's the mustache apocalypse of 2017. Now, I mean, most of his face looked fine. It was just the lower half.
It's like they didn't know what a lip looked like.
It's funny because they had, like, the dead eyes, which is great, and then the bottom half. I wish that they had, like, just photoshopped a still image of his normal bottom of his face and just, like, had it follow him around on the screen. But I don't want to talk an hour about his mustache. I can, but we shouldn't. Do you want to do positives first?
Barry was good.
Ezra Miller was wonderful as Barry Allen. I appreciated everything he did. He was adorable. I like the Flash a lot. What are my positives?
I think that's the only positive.
I liked the part where Alfred was standing in the middle of the water, like above the new Bat Cave, and then like the water was falling into the hole. I thought that looked cool. And I liked Diana's opening scene.
Well, I liked the first half okay. It wasn't an amazing movie, but I actually did think at a certain point, this wasn't half as bad as I thought it would be. And then the second half came and proved to me that it is just as bad as I thought it would be, and worse.
I think
much worse.
I think the problem is DC is under the impression Superman is the one we want to see, so they're just like, oh man, the big build-up to Superman, and oh, Lois Lane. No one likes Lois Lane. No one cares about this Lois Lane. I'll just say it. No one. Like, she doesn't do anything, and there's Superman, and like...
It's actually the divide for me, is when I stopped liking the movie, was when they started talking about bringing him back.
I feel like when Magic Goop Juice makes like a big giant rock monster, best not put another person in the Goop Juice, because then they got like 5 minutes of dark Superman, and then...
As we all, the wild beast.
Like, we all know gingers have magic powers from their soulless beings. And Lois Lane and her awesome wig showed up, and they fixed everything. I wish, like, I don't know, they threw Cyborg in there, and, like, I don't...
We can take it character by character. You want to start with Cyborg?
Okay, go ahead.
I know nothing about him.
He's a robot.
I didn't know he was in the movie.
You didn't know?
No, because they did absolutely no promotion with him.
It's because no one cares about Cyborg unless you're watching Teen Titans. I knew about Cyborg, obviously, like I have for 15 years. I don't know. I was a giant nerd when I was a kid, so I knew a lot.
I watched Teen Titans, but I don't remember him.
What?
I don't remember him.
Okay. Well, I knew about Cyborg. Don't care about him. I admittedly only care about Barry Allen because I really like the show, and I thought Ezra Miller was a fun Barry Allen. Like, I thought he was quite charming and funny. He should have been the only character who was purposely funny, but Joss Whedon decided to be himself and make everyone funny. And I put the word funny in quotation marks.
Well, I mean, Diana could have had a couple of funny moments and would have been okay, but, like, chuckle moments, not funny.
Yeah, like, you can't have everyone be witty. Okay, next, what do you want the next character? Wait, do we even really talk? So we didn't have any positives about Cyborg.
It's because he didn't matter. He had no personality.
He just did something at the end. He had like
he was there.
He was like all literally robotic in the beginning with just like I can see. Oh, and then like at the end he was like talking like a normal person.
Yeah.
Which I thought was weird. Like he was acting like a person, like, my toes hurt. How do my toes hurt? Like, why? Like, literally the beginning of the movie, he was talking like a robot, which is fine, but you have to pick one or the other, and they didn't. It's almost like there was two directors.
Well, let's go with Aquaman next. Why not?
My hero.
I thought they had no idea what to do with him, so he had no personality as well. His personality was point out the thing that the audience is thinking.
They cast, like, a super cool, traditionally attractive dude as Aquaman, because, like, okay, Aquaman sucks. What do we do? Cast someone people think is hot. And then, two, we should make him salty. Sea salty. But salty. And that's what they did. They made him kind of grumpy. But the problem is, what DC doesn't seem to get is the reason the Avengers worked is because all the characters had been fully established in their own movies, except for Black Widow, but she was in a few movies.
Yeah.
Hawkeye no one cared about. And
Aquaman.
The reason no one cared about Hawkeye is probably because he didn't get, like, his own thing. But, like, Marvel did it slow. DC jumped in, so we didn't get to know Aquaman. Maybe if we got our own Arthur Curry movie, I would have cared more about him. Like,
he would have had a personality for sure.
Like, maybe if we saw something with him, but basically they just dropped him in like they dropped in everyone. Diana got her own movie. Bruce hasn't even got his own movie yet. Barry hasn't. I know it's all coming, but you can't have the cake and then eat your broccoli. It's not how it works. You need to take the time and do the work and do the setup, and then the payoff is the Justice League. You can't just be like, wow, I really like what Marvel's doing. Let's copy it and jump in, because that's why no one likes DC movies. You did the Suicide Squad. You put in characters most people probably didn't know about, for sure didn't care about. Do you think anyone cares about Diablo?
I liked him in the movie, though. But no, okay. I didn't care. Like, I had no clue who he was.
And Waylon Jones, do you know anything about Killer Croc?
No, I thought he was completely useless.
He was. And, like, people went to that movie because Will Smith and because Harley Quinn. And that's it. Like, Captain Boomerang was the funny one.
Also useless.
The thing is, like, Harley's the comic relief. You don't need Captain Boomerang. So, like, the Suicide Squad comic they were basing it off of, God, I don't even know, because they, like, have so many, and they had some that kicked in the teeth as Volume 1 with the new one, but then they canceled it and did it again, and Harley's not in it. Poison Ivy is, and I think because in Harley's continuity, she's technically off doing her own thing, so I don't know, but they picked a whole bunch of characters, most of which no one cared about, and they just jumped in without, and their version of introducing them was like a terrible montage. And Justice League didn't even have
Katana, who they just stabbed in there like a knife.
Or a katana. Jesus.
I didn't want to go for the easy thing.
Well, then don't use a knife simile. What is it called? I'm tired. I don't know. But like, and then Justice League is just like, okay, we all know these characters, right? So I mean, like, well, people watch the Flash show. We don't have to introduce the Flash. Everyone knows who Batman is. Diana gets her own movie. Everyone knows who Aquaman is. Guess what? No one likes Aquaman. Who likes Aquaman?
And not like everyone knows of Aquaman. Like how many people know his backstory? I don't fucking know. They said it like they threw it away in one liner with some woman we never see again.
She's gonna be in the Aquaman movie. That's set up for everything they do now is set up for something else. Nothing is a standalone. Guess what? I don't care about Aquaman. I'm sorry if anyone is listening to this who likes Aquaman. I'm sure you're nice. But you need to make me care about these characters, and they didn't. They're just like, here's Aquaman, here's Cyborg, here's Barry. Barry got a cute scene as his opening thing. I liked his little house, and his stuff with Bruce was fun. Like, you can do that, but like you unfortunately you need to set them up with their own movies first, or it doesn't work. And this didn't work because like a lot of reasons though.
Well, the thing with Barry, and I guess we're going on Barry now, but anyway, the thing with Barry is that I liked him too. He was my favorite part of the movie, but he was paint by numbers, quirky, awkward.
He was cute though.
Yeah, I liked him just fine. It's just like he's designed to make you like him in a way that doesn't have any depth. It's kind of boring. He was in there to get all the fans of the Flash into the theater because he also didn't really have anything to do but push people.
Yeah, like
he wasn't really needed in the final fight. He threw some wasps around and then saved one truck full of people who could have been cut out of the movie entirely, and the movie would have been fine.
Right, but like, you know, you think in the Avengers, what did anyone have to do really? Because they had like Thor, they had them all like assembled. What? Because like Thor's Loki's brother, fine. Black Widow and Hawkeye work for S.H.I.E.L.D., fine. Tony and Bruce are there because of science. And Captain America was there for
moral reasons, probably.
I don't know, but like, I guess in an ideal world, everyone would be there for a specific reason, have a thing to do. At the end, they try to shove it in. It's like, Cyborg's gonna go do the magic box thing, and that's why we need him, and we need Bruce to be the distraction, and Barry's gonna
be there,
hanging out. And then Superman showed up after sleeping with Lois in a cornfield, which, by the way, I'm from Kansas. That's offensive. We don't all do stuff in cornfields. Just so you know. There's wheat too.
Well, all right. So then let's talk about Batman.
Bruce. Okay.
Bruce. Yeah. He didn't know who he was supposed to be because of the two directions this movie was going in. We'll call it the Whedon-esque direction and the proper direction.
He looked tired.
Because Joss Whedon clearly doesn't know Batman at all.
I think they hired Joss Whedon just because it's Joss Whedon. I hate Joss Whedon, though. As a person, he's not a good dude. As a writer, he does the same thing with everything. Everything's really witty, but it's in a way that's super pretentious, and he's super pretentious, and it's difficult to get past it.
His tone works for Buffy. It doesn't work for anything else.
Yeah, and like
that's why he hasn't had any good shows.
Yeah, let's point out that Buffy is a show that's 20 years old, and like everyone's witty now. Like everyone's dry.
Yeah.
So. And
the witty moments in this movie, especially Bruce's.
They stuck out like a bright blue uniform with
jarringly
a giant S on the chest.
It was jarringly different from the rest of the town.
It was like genuinely embarrassing. Like I was sitting there when they were like exchanging their quips. Like Bruce said something like, "I don't not like you." Like I was sitting there just like,
That's why I hate the second half of the movie, is because there's a lot more of those.
It's because he tried to do the same tone at the end that he had for the Avengers, which worked for the Avengers, because those movies are lighter. But you see a DC movie and you watch a whole bunch of people die, and like it doesn't exactly put you in the mindset to be like, haha, quippy, because you know what? I watched thousands of people in Metropolis die in Man of Steel, so to watch Superman bantering with Bruce, who had a fight near to the death, is really weird. And like I was hoping the whole time that Bruce was like, not Bruce, Clark was freaking out that someone was going to just say Martha and that was going to fix it, and no one even made a joke, despite the fact that Joss Whedon was involved. So I was disappointed in the fact that, like, his shirt and his shoes and his socks came off, but his pants stayed on fine, which was weird.
His pants had a single tear in the knee.
Yeah. Not that I want to see him naked, but, like, why did the other clothes come out?
Completely, including the tie.
Would it have looked weird in a wet suit? Like maybe think
his belt stayed on, but his tie went away.
I don't know. God, it was like whatever. Okay, what characters we have left?
Diana and Clark, who I don't really care about either of them because they did no setup for Diana, assuming everyone was going to see Wonder Woman. I did not see Wonder Woman.
I didn't either.
And I have never, and probably will never, care about Superman.
I never liked Superman really. In any form. Like, I've never been a Superman fan. He always seems pretty boring to me. Just, like, the problem is that he's the beginning of every superhero cliche. So it's, like, to me, he's just boring, and I don't like it. But I liked Diana. I liked her scene. It showed her saving people. It didn't really fit into the, like, I don't know what it did for the rest of the movie, other than show Diana.
I think it was supposed to, be a statement on how she's still helping people, but she's not being a hero to them or whatever. Because they said something at the end about dying. They said something at the end about how she's just been hidden away since her boyfriend, husband, whatever died.
Yeah, whatever.
Problem being, they didn't tie that. Like, they tried to tie everything from the beginning into the end. And some of it worked and some of it did not.
It's a little messed up that they had, like, this whole girl power movie with Diana, and then it's like, oh, what's she been doing since then? Not much.
Moping.
Basically, like, her boyfriend or whatever died. I don't know when he's supposed to have died, if he was, like, old, or if he died, like, right after World War I. I don't know. But, like, it kind of sucks that they went to all this effort to be like, the girl power, yay! And then turns out, no, she's been sad. Which is, I mean, it's fine to be sad that your person dies, but, like, the one girl is moping because she lost her boyfriend. Like, we don't get much in this world. We get in the Justice League, we have Diana. There's no other girls in it. And Lois Lane, God knows she's not a strong woman to look up to in these movies. In the comics, sure. Not in the movies. So, like, the one woman we have in this movie is, like, she has all this power and she's not doing anything with it because she's sad. And that's not exactly a great example to set. And it wasn't much of an arc.
The other thing is, she's, like, they tried to have her and Cyborg have, like, a little friendship going on, but it felt to me that all she did was smile at him, and he was better. He was just like, okay, I'll do whatever you want.
I know I'm a sad robot boy, but whatever.
You have a pretty smile. Girl, and, like, woman, pretty.
I didn't personally like Barry kind of fawning all over Diana, because as a fan of The Flash, I know Barry Allen's been in love with Iris West for 20 years at that point. So... It's just like, they get they're not together or anything, but do we really need to watch him getting super flustered over this girl when, like, we know he's in love with Iris? Like, they're not together. I don't know how they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to do Barry's movie. No one's really talking about it. Everyone's kind of focused on this Batman garbage, and they're already recasting Batman. I'm not happy about it. Ben Affleck did look really tired. I'm tired. Maybe I'm just projecting. Do you have any negatives you want to talk about?
That's all we're doing here, sweetie.
Yeah, that's a joke, man. Thanks.
But anyway, what I didn't get is, okay, I haven't seen any of the Superman movies, because as I stated earlier, don't care, will never care.
It's fine.
Don't do another Superman movie.
Just don't do another superhero movie. Done. We're done here.
You know what? Thor Ragnarok pretty much took it over the top. That's what I'll hold everything to from now on.
Thor was maybe... I don't have, like, a list of favorite movies in my head other than Psycho, but, like, Thor is in probably the top 5 at least. The third one was so good.
But anyway, I know from you that he destroyed Metropolis and Smallville, and in this movie, everyone's treating him like a hero.
That's the problem, is, like, that was a lot of what the Batman versus Superman Dawn of Welcome to the Jungle was about. Is that some people really like Superman, and others were like, hey, he had an alien fight in the middle of Metropolis and did billions of dollars worth of damage. Tons of people died. He killed someone. It's like, do we trust him? Do we not trust him? It's like, also it doesn't matter because he's an alien and he can destroy you. So, like, you can't control him. The whole point of Superman is that he could have been Zod. But instead, he's Clark Kent because the people who raised him, they raised him to be a good person, and it's his choice to take care of Earth. The entire thing is about morals. The entirety of Superman's personality and his arcs and everything is about how he's a good guy. And then the Zack Snyder movies came out, and he snapped someone's neck. Okay? Superman would never have a fight in Metropolis. He'd take it out to the ocean, which is right there, even though it's in Kansas. And it's 50 feet away from Gotham City. And apparently another 50 feet from Central City. Whatever, that's not the point. Point being, this isn't Superman. And, like, also, it had been a while, and the statue that was broken is still just, like, on the ground.
Yeah, they would have cleaned
That's, like, another thing.
Yeah.
What was my point? I don't even remember.
We were talking about everyone treating him like a hero.
He's definitely not a hero. He caused tons of death. Like, if that was real, I'd be scared of him. Like, Lex Luthor had the right idea, as I've heard from people. Like, oh yeah, we should probably try and get a handle on this crazy alien man who's stronger than 80 people. Let's not let him kill us. He's clearly malevolent. You can tell by the way he looks at you and his slicked back hair, and just, like, both of his parents constantly like, you don't owe anyone anything. Like, and the award for least characteristic people go to Martha and Gary Kent. What's the dad's name? Paul Kent. I don't even remember. Not Thomas. No, that's Batman. Whatever.
It doesn't even matter. They're all the same. All the parents are the same. They did horrible things and made their children who they are.
It just bothers me deeply because I was a big fan of Smallville when I was a kid, and, like, Martha and
Billy Joe
Gary Kent. I'll think of it later. But, like, the whole point is that they raised him to be, like, a really good guy. Because, you know, that's the story of Superman. And then you have him as a kid with little Teen Wolf in there, and he's saying, like, you should have just let that bus full of kids drown, Clark. And it's like, dude, is this a joke? Is this a parody? It's a really, really good parody. Because, like, they're playing it straight, and it's really impressive that no one's laughing. But, like, did the dad for real just tell Superman that he should have let a bus full of kids drown? Because I'm pretty sure that's completely the opposite of every single superhero thing I've ever heard in my 47 years of existence. You should have let the bus full of kids die. Really? You're telling your 14-year-old son he should have let all his friends, or not friends, whatever, all of his classmates die. Drown in a bus. Not just go to sleep, but like a horrific death. You should have let them all die. I'm the lone survivor, son. Have some corn. Like, what? And then, like, his dad, he was about to get swept away by a tornado, for real. And Clark was going to go get him. And the dad, like, just held up a hand. Was like, no, son, don't come get me because you'll expose yourself. Let me get swept away by a tornado while your mom watches and the dog. I hate the Man of Steel Superman. Like, I realize there's bigger problems in the world. I hate him, though. I take time out of my day to sit and think about hating him. It's ridiculous. Do we have any other characters?
No, that's all.
Alfred. I like Alfred. I wish just once he would have said, be prepared. But
I suppose there's Steppenwolf, but Steppenwolf is bad guy.
God.
He has nothing more to him. And just the completely unbelievable, I want to destroy the world plot for no apparent reason other than I can.
My problem is that I kept hearing them say, like, Steppenwolf, and it just sounds like a guy's name, and he's a really bad CGI character. I don't know why they did that. Like, is it because they had the money? Because they should have just had a guy in a rubber suit or makeup or something? Because he looked really bad. Like, horrible. Weirdly cheap for a movie that probably cost $230 million to make. I hated him. I hated all the horses that died. No, I didn't hate the horses. I hated that they died. The horses are probably fine.
I hated that all the Amazons who are supposed to be badass, powerful warriors were taken out by undead wasps.
Everyone was taken out by the undead wasps, except the Russians.
And except all of our main characters, which, by the way, they just didn't address the fact that it took 3 armies to bring Steppenwolf down the first time. But Diana and Arthur were just there beating the ever-living crap out of him while Cyborg took apart the whatever the fucks they were by himself.
Right, but I think what you're missing here is movie. Sarah, you're not supposed to think too much about it. Like, it's a film, it's for fun.
They didn't even do the easy writer tie-in of, you know, she's the Amazon, he's the Atlantean, and then Bruce is the human,
together.
And they're all working together to kill him, like they did in the armies at the beginning. It was just Bruce doing something, getting his ass kicked, Barry throwing things, and the two of them beating the crap out of him, waiting for Superman. Who could have ripped his head off and didn't?
I just find it really weird that the unity of these 3 cubes of, I don't know, cheese, whatever, like, the unity is what would end the world, and the movie's about unity. Like, are they thinking that they put a message out there that they didn't? Because, like, why would you make the coming together of these 3 Tesseracts, like, end the world when you want unity because it's the Justice League? Oh, God, wait. Can we talk about the ending credits scene, please?
Sure.
Okay. I hated it. We were sitting in the theater listening to a weird cover of Come Together, which we get it. Oh my God, Come Together, Unity, Justice League, bull. And then, it took everyone by surprise, I'm sure. Spoilers, by the way. Lex Luthor broke out of prison and somehow got access to all of his money. And first thing he did, yacht and pretty girls. Fine. And he was just like, don't you think it's about time we had a league of our own? And I just wanted to kill him. I wanted to take his bald head and I wanted to flush it down the toilet. Like, I get it. They were trying to introduce Deathstroke. But, first of all, the Legion of Doom isn't called League. It's just the Legion. I know you can't say a Legion of our own. He shouldn't have said the line at all. But, like, there's a better way to form the Legion of Doom than to have, like, a bald, short man just be like, we can form our own team of evil.
Well, there's a lot of cheesy lines in this movie. It's made of cheese.
I love cheese. Like, I didn't love this.
Like when Superman was brought back to life. Spoilers. I don't even give a shit. Stop listening if you don't want to hear more.
Alert.
But when he came back to life and he was just like, "Do you bleed?" I almost walked out.
Oh my god, I was really upset when he said that. I was hoping they'd kiss, and that's not what happened.
Just once.
No one ever kisses. Just like a tiny one, just like sign. What was I about to complain about? Jesus, I don't know. Oh, okay. This isn't anything to do with the movie. I was mad that they kept changing the movie times because this movie sucked so bad they had to keep pushing it. So I walked in there already tired, already ready to go home. And then just the unneeded stuff in the beginning is okay, let's spend the first 40 minutes gathering everyone up. We all know Bruce, right? And Bruce and Diana we set this up in this movie, and now, okay, let's go down the list of gathering people up. And, I hate that kind of stuff. It's let's check this one off the list. Oh, God. I thought it was going to be better. Oh, God.
Yeah, I was confused at the beginning because when they're introducing Cyborg, I can't remember his name. It's Victor, right?
Victor
something.
Von Doom.
Victor something.
Victor Crumb.
When they introduced him, he's like, he is dead. And I was like, alright, so that's probably the Cyborg guy. Because by the time I got there, I realized there was another one because you kept mentioning him. And that's how I knew there was another one, is because you just mentioned him. But anyway. And then they just kind of skipped over that part, the death part, and then we just you have to go get him, Diana.
It doesn't make any sense that, both Clark and Superman are officially dead. You can bring Superman back to life because he's a weird alien guy and whatever. No one's necessarily gonna be how is he back to life? What happened? But Clark Kent is the man with a social security number and probably some student loans and an ID card. So how do you write that off? Because also, are we gonna talk about the fact that Ma Kent's house was foreclosed on by the bank and Bruce's solution was to buy the bank instead of the house? Why didn't he just buy the house? Because you could buy the house and then pay it off and then just give it to Ma Kent.
You won't have a quote-unquote funny line. I don't think we laughed once during this whole movie.
They could have made a joke about Bruce being the landlord. They could have made a joke about something else. It didn't have to be I bought the bank. It could have been the rent's due, whatever. I don't know, man. If I was awake, I'd come up with a good joke.
All the jokes in this movie are really awkward. When Aquaman's sitting on the lasso of truth.
Oh my god.
You and I looked at each other at the same time and said, what the hell is going on?
I thought it was really weird because I was like, oh my god, is this real? And then I'm like, oh, he's probably sitting on the lasso of truth. And that's exactly what happened. Joss Whedon, if you're listening, which I'm sure you are, first of all, I hate you. Second of all, you should be more clever than me. If you're writing screenplays, maybe do a couple drafts. Don't be a pig. Haha, it's so funny. Barry's face ended up in Diana's boobs. Oh my god, girls have boobs. They're funny. Ha ha ha. Stop. Guess what? We all like boobs, but
This after all the Valkyries got... Oh, not Valkyries. So I'm thinking Thor.
Sorry, we're trying to think of happier thoughts.
Yeah, all the Amazons got their asses kicked by bugs. All of them.
They should have been able to take out the parademons because they reminded me of those droids from Phantom Menace that the Jedi cut through nothing.
Yeah.
It's you can't take out a parademon because Bruce netted it to a wall and it exploded. So are you telling me a 150-year-old Amazonian warrior with a sword can't take out a parademon?
And one of them was the queen, right?
Yeah.
She couldn't handle it. She couldn't kick Sirius.
She ran. She left her girls to die.
I understand why she ran, because you have to sacrifice a few to try to get the box away from the Steppenwolf guy. And that's okay, because it's showing that she's strong enough to try and save everybody. The problem is, when she's fighting, she's a little wuss.
The parademons, I thought were really dumb. I don't I'm really sick of space monsters that you can kill 100 and it's fine because they're not actual people. Stop doing that every single movie. Stop. Please stop. Suicide Squad did it. Avengers did it.
Thor Ragnarok did it.
Okay, whatever. Ragnarok's perfect.
Yeah, that one's forgiven. I love that movie. But anyway. It's just because it's to make it seem grandiose and to give it...
We don't need grandiose.
So that they can fight up to the big monster. Because it's always some kind of big monster.
And that's annoying, because that's not how comic... You know what? Spider-Man dealt with a whole lot of bank robbers. Okay? Not everything needs to be huge. Maybe it's just me, because I like character stuff. I'd rather a superhero movie... I'd like to see Barry Allen, struggling, trying to, help his dad and, working all these jobs and trying to, figure out being a metahuman. And then fighting... I don't know, maybe if you want to be weird, you can do Gorilla Grodd, or, like, there's a million bad guys you can choose for Barry, but, like, for me, I'd rather see a movie with Barry trying to, like, get a grip on his life than, like, Funny Big Monster, which is why I like the show, is because it's, like, the silly metahumans that Cisco names every week, but it's also a lot of, like, Barry planning his wedding and trying to, like, come to terms with the fact that he screwed up the timeline again, and it's character stuff. I like character stuff, and these movies don't leave a lot of room for that, and it's kind of exhausting after a while, because there's only so many times I can watch a million little alien bugs fall out of a hole in the sky. I don't care about that. I don't care about the action. It gives me headaches. Give me a reason to care about these characters and hope that they don't get killed by a parademon.
Okay. It is possible to have a really good fight scene, and I know we've mentioned it before, but Thor Ragnarok had a beautiful fight scene at the end. Like, it did. Yes. It was actually really good. I normally hate the fight scenes in these movies. It looks
gorgeous, too, the Rainbow Bridge. Like, yeah. I liked it a lot. And, like, people were on the line. Like, Marvel's good about that. They put souls on the line as opposed to DC, where it's just like, well, I guess we'll have all these, wait, no, was it? She had people fighting for her, right? Or did she have monsters? She didn't make monsters, did she?
Hela?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She had undead soldiers.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, she did. She had a bunch of them, and that was what the gods were fighting mostly, and then Thor was supposed to fight her, and then Bruce had, there's different Bruce guys. Yeah. Bruce had the wolf.
I want to see, like, superheroes saving people. I don't want to see Metropolis fall. I don't want to see, like, tons and tons of people dying. Like, what I liked, the one thing I liked about Avengers 2 was that you saw them saving people. Like, you saw them grabbing people from the edges of falling things, and that's cool. Like, there you go. Save a few people, be a superhero.
Well, I mean, there you go. With Marvel, their beginning was really strong, and with the Marvel movies, their beginning was really strong.
Iron Man was good. Captain America was kind of boring. The first Thor sucked.
I'm not talking about the beginning of their career, not every beginning of every movie.
No,
and then in the middle, they all were the same. Every single movie was exactly the fucking same. Mm-hmm. And now they're starting to go into a new direction, which I like.
Where things are getting a little weird.
Yeah, and they're skipping the origin stories.
Yeah, Black Panther looks kind of great. Like, the first time I saw the trailer, I wasn't too interested. The second time, it looks a lot better to me for some reason.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It looks cool.
And then for DC, I think they need to scrap everything and start the fuck over because they're just ruining it. Like, they can't scrounge anything good out of the pile they have right now.
They have Diana, though. Everyone pretty much liked Wonder Woman. They're doing another one. The problem is, like, they blew this Superman. Mm-hmm. Not the good one. I meant, like, they blew their chances. That was terrible, like, both that and then, like, they're already recasting Batman. Barry hasn't gotten his movie yet, though, so they can do that. But, like, it makes me think of Dark Universe, the Universal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they put all of their eggs into this basket, released one movie, it sucked, and I think they scrapped the rest. I think they're not doing anymore because The Mummy didn't do well critically. Like, it made its money back, but no one liked it.
No one in America liked it anyway, but with The Mummy, there's ways to make it work. The problem is people staring at statistics on a screen saying, this is what
the bean counters likes.
They don't know how to make it work because you can't have a universe with a bunch of monsters, but you have to have a reason to root for the monster.
Well, with your idea that you came up with, which I don't know if you'd want to say on a podcast.
I don't care.
Because, like, okay, I don't think I contributed anything to it.
I don't remember.
So, yeah, you came up... You do this a lot when we see a movie. It's like you come up with a better version of it, like, better. But, like, our consensus for the monster universe thing was that it shouldn't be that the monsters are the bad guys. It should be the monsters are the main characters. Because then you get the anti-hero thing, which is, like, a big thing right now. And it would be more interesting. But, like, the problem with all these franchises that want universes is they don't realize that Marvel started out and they didn't have the intention of connecting it, so they didn't bog you down with, like, this is the creature from the Black Lagoon's claw and this is a fang from Dracula. And it's like, when you do too much setup and you make it so it can't, like, stand on its own isolated, then it kind of ruins it. When all you want is to set up this extended universe, it's not fun. Part of the fun is building slowly and carefully and not cramming it down people's throats. Mm-hmm. We haven't even seen The Mummy, but I could probably point out 1,000 problems with it. We're not even talking. We're talking about the Justice League.
Okay, but it all ties in. It's all universals.
Dark Universe. I just wish that these movies cared a little more about the individual movie rather than setting up other ones, because like Batman vs. Superman was setting up the Justice League and like Thor 2 I think was setting up stuff, and like the Avengers 2, God knows the Avengers 2 was setting up other stuff, and it's just like so confusing. I just want to watch a movie, because sometimes I just want to watch a movie. I'm never going to watch Justice League again.
Yeah, like
never.
What's that one we watched, the Captain America one? Was it Civil War?
Which wasn't a Captain... Yeah, it wasn't a Captain America movie. It was an Avengers movie, missing some Avengers. They just needed to make another Captain America movie. I couldn't tell you 4 things that happened in that.
I couldn't either. It was so bad. But they were setting up... for a little chunk of it, they were definitely setting up Spider-Man Homecoming.
And Infinity War.
And I like Spider-Man Homecoming. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's also the only part of Captain America Civil War I like.
Yeah, the fight scene. Everything with Peter was great in the fight scene. Everything else was really boring, and I was mad watching it. Just like, this isn't a Captain America movie. I understand, as a writer, I understand the appeal of like, oh, how fun would it be if all these things were connected. The problem is you need to make sure the stories can stand on their own to people who haven't seen other ones. Like, if you had a friend who hadn't seen any Marvel movies and you took the Captain America trilogy and watched it with them, for 2 and 3, they wouldn't have any friggin' idea what's going on.
I think the best example is, we're going to hop to a different franchise, Rogue One from Star Wars.
Oh, Jesus.
I had only ever seen one Star Wars movie before that. I went into the theater, and it's so not a movie for anyone who doesn't want to masturbate to Star Wars.
And even for those of us who do want to masturbate to Star Wars, like, I hated it. I wouldn't let my theoretical kid, watch it. Like, it's too confusing for one. And no, my answer to that is not because it's dark. I'm fine with dark. But because it was unnecessarily miserable. And, like, I don't need my kid being like, oh my God, Mommy, everyone died at the end and it was sad the whole time. Like, I hate everything. Like, oh my God. No character development at all except for the robot. Except for the robot. And, like...
And I didn't really like him, to be perfectly honest.
No?
No, because it felt very studio kind of thing. Just like, if you do this and this and this with the robot, everyone will love him.
Have the funny robot. Have the puckish rogue. Have the strong woman lead. I am down for a strong woman lead. I love Rey. I love her. Mary Sue or not, I'm in love with her. She's great. She has a personality. She's scared sometimes. She's brave sometimes. She's funny sometimes. She's a person. And then you have Jyn Erso, who's there. She's not a Jedi. That's her. That's her thing. She's not a Jedi. Oh, Lordy, we have a Star Wars movie without a Jedi main character. Oh, my goodness. So amazing. She has a blaster. Yay. She dies at the end. Spoilers. But yeah, you take someone to see Rogue One who's never seen Star Wars, or me. I've seen every Star Wars, and I was lost. They use a lot of jargon that I didn't understand, and like it was needlessly complicated. Like everyone's just like, it's a war movie. It's a war movie. It's just like it's just fun. Like no, it's not.
War movies aren't fun. Just throwing it out there.
It wasn't straightforward enough. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe it went over my head. Whatever. I don't care.
Maybe it was just a bad movie.
A kid can't watch that movie, and I don't want people to make the argument, oh, it was a Star Wars movie for adults. Star Wars isn't really for adults. It's for little kids who want to pretend to be Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Jabba the Hutt. Like, I have a lot of problems with that movie on, like, a personal level more than just it was a sucky... I can handle a sucky movie. I'm not crying and ranting about the prequels. Those movies sucked, but, like, they weren't Rogue One. I found Rogue One more offensive than Revenge of the Sith. And that was difficult.
So, in conclusion, try harder.
Everyone. For everything. Try harder. Try harder at school. Try harder at your job. Try to stay in your house, Joss Whedon.
Do not be a Justice League. Be a Thor Ragnarok. That is what we were saying.
Yes. Always be yourself, unless you can be a Thor Ragnarok. Ragnarok was, we didn't do an episode on Ragnarok.
No, we did not.
But we saw it and it was so good. Like I was expecting it to be fine, but it was killer, like in a lot of ways. It was weird. I think that's why we liked it a lot, because like it was a movie, it's like, okay, we can get away with probably anything at this point. We can be a little weird. Let's take some risks. And they did, and they paid off. No one at DC is taking risks.
I liked it because it was fun.
It was fun.
Like, that's why I like Spider-Man Homecoming, too, is because it's fun. And you know what? Yeah, you can get super dark with these superhero movies, but you don't have to.
I'd also like to point out, like, we're not people who don't like dark stuff.
No, I love dark stuff.
Like, I prefer dark stuff. But it's nice that there's fun stuff, too. Like, if you look at anything we've ever written, save for A Spooky City, once in a while, like, we lean towards the dark stuff, and it's fun when it's fine when it's done well, and then you get Zack Snyder, and he ruins it. Like, just because people die doesn't make it dark. I think people have a gross interpretation of what dark means.
Yeah, everyone thinks that to make something dark, someone has to die or someone has to get raped, and that's all they ever do. Thankfully.
No one was raped in Rogue One.
Yeah, no superhero movies that I'm aware of have had rape.
I don't think so.
Comic books are a different story.
We don't have to talk about that.
No, we don't.
Yeah. I mean, it annoys me too to have everyone be like, Rogue One's so dark, it's so dark. It's not. Just because they all die at the end doesn't mean it's dark.
It was boring. I didn't get a dark vibe from it. I got a slow, plodding, let's make money vibe. Dark,
though, might have been if the situation was a little different, like darker, if maybe, like, someone had to make the choice of, okay, I can get the plans out of here, but to keep everyone from following me, I have to blow up this star system or wherever the hell they were. I don't know. But, like, so I think it would have been better if maybe one of them escaped, and there's, like, the only way I can do this is if I press this button and kill all my friends. That would have been darker, like the robot. No, but, like, if that's what happened, I think that would have been better. I would have preferred... That feels dark to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but, like, wouldn't it have been better if instead of everyone sacrificing themselves, like, one person got out with the plans and people were chasing them, so they just pulled a Doctor Who and blowed up all the Daleks? And, like, all the Time Lords, too. Like, that sucks. Would have been better. But, oh my god, I have so many problems with that movie. I don't want to rant for an hour and a half about it. Is there anything more about the Justice League we need to say?
I don't think so. Don't go see it.
We're two salty dogs. What do you want to rate it?
Out of
10.
3.
I'll give it...
Barry gives it a 3.
Barry?
Yeah.
I'll also give it a 3 or 4. I'll never watch... The only circumstances I'd watch it again is if I had a friend, which I don't. If I had a friend who was just like, I want to watch this movie, will you watch it with me? And then I might. But I'll never buy this on DVD. I'll never put it on. Like, so 3 is probably...
Mm-hmm.
I guess here's to hoping they do better next time with their new Bruce Wayne and whatever the hell they have planned next. I don't even know.
I don't even think they know. I think they're scrambling.
Well, all right. That's all right. I think that's it. So
yeah, go see Thor. Ignore the Justice League.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for listening. Please don't go see the Justice League. Have a nice day.